At the top of the altar, Lin Dong slowly opened his eyes. His pitch-black pupils seemed to encompass the world, emanating an enigmatic aura that could draw one into its depths. Awakening from the prolonged cultivation, he was momentarily dazed before clarity returned to his gaze. Looking down at his slender hands, a faint smile appeared at the corners of his lips. "So, this is the Divine Palace realm?" Lin Dong murmured to himself. He could feel it, a terrifying new level of power that he had never approached before. A sense of unprecedented strength surged within him. He had no doubt that if he were to face the demon prison's 7 demon kings now, he could crush them with ease. Even those kings comparable to 3-time reincarnation tribulation experts would no longer pose a threat. This was the power brought by the Divine Palace realm. Lin Dong closed his eyes briefly. With a thought, he saw a radiant divine palace suspended silently at the center of his forehead, glowing with endless divine light. Within the palace, infinite spiritual energy surged and roared. Now, this energy carried a faint chaotic brilliance, a transformation brought about by the mysterious supreme power he had absorbed. This subtle change had caused his spiritual energy to undergo a metamorphosis. Opening his eyes, Lin Dong rose slowly to his feet. With a flicker of light across his body, a black robe materialized upon him. Clenching his fist, he felt the immense progress his primordial energy had made over the last decade. While most of his efforts had been focused on condensing the Divine Palace, his foundational strength had also grown significantly. At this level, the challenge was no longer about breakthroughs, but about surviving the terrifying reincarnation tribulation. 10 years in here. It must have been a year outside. I wonder how things have fared during this time. As he exited his cultivation state, concern flickered across Lin Dong's expression. Before his seclusion, the outside world had been in dire straits. He could only hope things hadn't deteriorated further. Time to head out. Resolving not to delay, Lin Dong turned and bowed deeply toward the worn cushion atop the altar. Successfully condensing the Divine Palace had relied heavily on the guidance he had received from the unseen forces of fate. Without it, he might never have realized that the mysterious supreme power was the key. It was only thanks to mastering the supreme perception technique imparted by Ling Qingzhu that he had been able to take this critical step. Still, reaching the Divine Palace realm required more than just this mysterious power. Over the years of condensing the palace, even with his caution, Lin Dong had suffered numerous near failures, each time narrowly averting the collapse of the palace. As Lin Dong bowed to the cushion, a faint hum suddenly emanated from it. A peculiar glow began to rise, gradually forming a miniature, intricate formation of light. Startled, Lin Dong froze. This formation? It was identical to the ancient cosmic formation within his body. The moment this formation appeared, the ancient cosmic formation within Lin Dong began to tremble uncontrollably. It surged out from his body and fused with the altar's formation in an instant. When the two formations merged, the complexity and profoundness of the formation skyrocketed. The ancient, boundless energy it exuded became far more intense. So, this is the spirit of the ancient cosmic formation? Lin Dong gazed at the fused formation, realization dawning upon him. The formation he had obtained had always felt incomplete. From the mouths of the demon prison's experts, he had learned that the ancient cosmic formation was created by the ancestral Talisman master during ancient times to annihilate countless alien demons. But the version in his possession had been missing a critical component. This moment made everything clear. The missing essence of the ancient cosmic formation had been hidden within this worn cushion all along. The light began to condense and retract back into the cushion. As the glow subsided, the worn cushion began to disintegrate, and a mysterious radiance emerged. From within the flames of dissolution, a black and white stone disk, about the size of a palm, floated upward. The disk emanated an ancient and primal aura, its surface covered with intricate, divine patterns. Lin Dong extended his hand, and the black and white disk gently fell into his palm. Its cool touch sent a subtle shiver through him. He examined it closely before the disk transformed into a streak of light, merging directly into his body. At this moment, the ancient cosmic formation, created by the ancestral Talisman Master, was finally complete. Lin Dong's eyes lit up with joy. To think he had encountered such a rare opportunity here. Lin Dong clasped his hands in a gesture of gratitude toward the void. Even though the ancestral Talisman Master was long gone, it did not diminish his heartfelt thanks. After completing the gesture, Lin Dong wasted no time. With a thought, a halo of light slowly formed before the altar in the emptiness. Without further hesitation, he stepped into the halo, gradually vanishing from sight. As he disappeared, the void space capable of reversing time returned to its desolate state. The only remaining presence was the aged prayer mat atop the altar, flickering faintly as if bidding Lin Dong farewell. Flame Deity Palace. This place had become the headquarters of the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance. The sky was filled with countless streams of light darting back and forth, making the entire area seem incredibly lively. The atmosphere was far more bustling than it had been a year ago. Certainly, the most eye-catching feature in this region was the Ancestral Palace, suspended in the sky. By its gate, several figures stood upright, exuding an aura that revealed them to be formidable experts who had reached the revolution stage. Below, numerous envious eyes watched as their fellow practitioners occasionally passed the entrance's scrutiny to enter the Ancestral Palace. Over the past year, many revolution stage experts had achieved breakthroughs within, advancing to the revered reincarnation stage. This growth and strength had bolstered the Alliance's power, enabling them to counter the alien demons effectively. Meanwhile, deep within the Ancestral Palace, in the midst of a shattered stone plaza, an ancient statue flickered with light. From within, a slender figure clad in black slowly emerged. Lin Dong stepped from the statue, his gaze sweeping over this familiar place. His black eyes, made somber from 10 years of arduous cultivation, regained their familiar brightness. Taking a deep breath, he smiled slightly and continued forward. On his way out of the Ancestral Palace, he occasionally encountered experts deep into their cultivation. These experts, with their substantial strength, were momentarily stunned to see Lin Dong walking calmly among them. Only after he had passed did they snap back to reality. Is that Elder Lin Dong? Within the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance, Lin Dong held the esteemed position of Elder alongside the likes of Xun'er. Such a status naturally commanded immense respect, explaining the shock experienced by those witnessing his presence. So Elder Lin Dong was also cultivating in the Ancestral Palace. The crowd murmured, clearly moved. When Lin Dong passed by, they didn't sense any primordial energy or spiritual energy fluctuations from him. This wasn't due to a loss of power. Rather, Lin Dong seemed to have attained an unimaginable level. Lin Dong paid no heed to the commotion behind him and proceeded to the entrance of the Ancestral Palace. Just as he was about to leave, a figure blocked his path. "Brother, have you just finished cultivating? If so, please register your alliance affiliation." Surprised, Lin Dong looked at the middle-aged man questioning him with a jade tablet. Before he could speak, another person hastily pulled the man aside, replacing his stern demeanor with a face full of reverent smiles. "Elder Lin Dong, my apologies. This man is new and didn't recognize you. Please forgive us." "Elder Lin Dong?" The previous examiner's face twitched, and he glanced at Lin Dong with excitement. "What's going on here?" Lin Dong asked, amused yet bewildered. Since the Ancestral Palace was opened by the 8 ancient lords a year ago, many experts advancing to the revolution stage have been selected for training. This has bolstered our strength within the 3 major alliances, the burly man respectfully explained. 3 major alliances? Lin Dong was taken aback. The man saw Lin Dong's expression and wasn't surprised, considering these developments occurred during his seclusion. Thus, he began explaining the events of the past year. So even the demon realm and the 4 great mystery regions were affected. Lin Dong felt a wave of emotion upon hearing this, surprised at how the situation had escalated. It seemed the demon prison was truly planning to ignite a second Great World War. Recently, The 8 ancient lords have commanded the 3 major alliances to eradicate the demon prison forces and consolidate their strength to assault the Western Mystery region and eliminate the demon prison. Currently, all our Chaos Demon Sea Alliance forces, led by leader Xun'er, are engaged in a decisive battle with the demon prison troops. However, the battle appears to be at a stalemate, the man reported. Lin Dong nodded slightly, not inquiring about the battlefield's location. With a thought, he sensed the daunting killing intent emanating from a distance. "I'll go there," Lin Dong said. With Elder Lin Dong's intervention, the demon prison troops will surely fall at the first strike. Lin Dong smiled and waved his hand. His body gradually became ethereal under the astonished gazes of the 2 burly men, and in a moment, he completely disappeared. Seeing Lin Dong use such a technique, seemingly merging with the heavens and earth, the 2 men were filled with both shock and wild joy. Chaos Demon Sea, Northern Sea region. This vast sea area had, over the past year, become the frontline battleground between the demon prison and the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance. The 2 sides had clashed here dozens of times, each battle earth-shattering, blood staining the sea, and demonic energy darkening the skies. And now, this sea region remained the bloodiest part of the entire Chaos Demon Sea. This time, both sides were preparing for a decisive battle. The Chaos Demon Sea Alliance, in order to gather more strength and unite with 2 other major alliances for a counterattack, had resolved to use all its power to suppress the war in the Chaos Demon Sea. On the other side, the demon prison had issued the most ruthless orders to stop the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance at all costs. Thus, the fiercest battle of the year erupted once again. Boom, boom. Demonic energy surged, and countless powerful forces exploded. Looking around, one could see endless light and shadow, mixed with overwhelming bloodlust, charging toward the demon prison troops. The 2 enormous streams collided in the air, and the sounds of battle reverberated through the heavens and earth. Waves of water rose high, while the thunderous sounds failed to mask the horrific sounds of bloodshed. At the back of the endless alliance army, Tang Xun'er floated in mid-air. Dressed in tight red armor, she showcased an alluring figure, her beautiful face sternly watching the battlefield. Her cold commands, carried by the force of spiritual energy, rang out across the battlefield, directing the Alliance troops. Alliance leader, those alien demons seem to have gone mad. The battle is too intense, an elder beside Tang Xun'er said, his face grim. Tang Xun'er's phoenix eyes flashed with cold light. Issue a death order. This time, we must wipe out the demon prison troops in the Chaos Demon Sea. The demon prison's main base has been exposed, and these troops' sudden resistance must be due to orders from the base. They intend to abandon these forces to delay our army's advance. They must be preparing something using this huge cost, she added. We must act swiftly. The elder's heart tightened as he listened. He quickly nodded in agreement. Though he was one of the top experts in the Chaos Demon Sea, his seniority likely surpassed even Imoluos. But ever since Tang Xun'er took control of the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance, the situation had gradually reversed in her favor. Her abilities had earned everyone's recognition, and now, her commands were obeyed without question across the entire Chaos Demon Sea. Orders spread swiftly through the Alliance army, and the eyes of countless experts filled with bloodlust. This year, too many of their comrades had died at the hands of the demon prison. That hatred could never be erased, so if it couldn't be avenged, they would kill every last one of them. Kill! A thunderous roar erupted as countless experts surged forward, their overwhelming energy tearing apart the alien demons before them. The entire world was bathed in crimson. Tang Xun'er's cold, beautiful face looked upon the battlefield, her gaze then shifting upwards to the sky, where the higher-level battle was taking place. Though fewer in number, these fighters could have a huge impact on the outcome of the war. Those battle circles in the sky were all occupied by experts who had reached the reincarnation stage, facing opponents of the alien demon king level, some even at the true king level. Fortunately, the most troublesome foes were being intercepted by the top experts of the Alliance. I wonder if Senior Qingji can hold them off, Tang Xun'er murmured to herself, looking up at the sky. A terrifying energy fluctuation emanated from the clouds above. There, a figure in green stood, facing off against an enormous alien demon over 1,000 meters tall. The beast was grotesque, with over a dozen massive eyes on its body, exuding a fierce, savage aura. This hideous alien demon had been formed by the fusion of 10 true kings from the demon prison. This fusion had made the new creature extraordinarily powerful, even comparable to a peak expert who had survived 2 reincarnation tribulations. In the entire Chaos Demon Sea Alliance, only Qingji could block it. Clearly, the demon prison troops were using every bit of strength they had to resist the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance's extermination efforts. Roar! The tattered garments fluttered as, in mere moments, Qingji transformed into a towering dragon man several thousand feet tall. Azure scales covered his body, gleaming with a sharp, icy light. His dragon arms bulged with veins like coiled serpents, and over 10,000 luminous dragon patterns swirled around him, emitting low roars. The Azure Dragon Transformation Technique, a martial art created by Qingji himself, exhibited an astonishingly sharp and overwhelming power when performed by its creator, leaving anyone witnessing it in awe. Roar! Qingji stepped through the void, shattering space as he surged forward in a streak of azure light, charging at the ferocious giant demon. His dragon fist howled, surging with tens of thousands of dragon patterns that crashed upon the demon with lightning speed. Boom, boom, boom. The giant demon roared at the relentless assault, its sharp claws smashing forth in retaliation. It made no effort to evade, directly clashing head-on with Qingji. The 2 colossal beings tangled in midair, their combat devoid of intricate techniques, relying instead on raw, terrifying power capable of obliterating space itself. Each strike landed with a heavy, meaty thud that drowned out the surrounding cacophony of slaughter. Slash! Qingji's razor-sharp dragon claws tore down the demon's body, ripping away a massive chunk of blackened flesh, sending black ichor spraying through the air. The demon roared in agony and threw a thunderous punch at Qingji, shattering his azure scales and sending him hurtling thousands of feet back. Ugh! Bloodshot eyes burned in Qingji's dragon form as he spread his massive wings, each spanning thousands of feet. With a single flap, he charged back into the fray, colliding violently with the demon once more. Tang Xinlian, watching the brutal combat unfold in the sky, narrowed her eyes and barked coldly, "Third unit, move out." Her command barely left her lips when an overwhelming killing intent erupted from the distant rear of the alien demon army. A flood of figures surged forward like a sharp blade, piercing the formation and splitting the alien demon forces in 2. The unexpected reinforcements revitalized the allied army's morale, tipping the battle in their favor. Arg! Sensing the tide turning, the alien demon forces unleashed deafening, frenzied roars filled with rage and madness. Whoosh! 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 As their cries echoed, the alien demon elites began to self-destruct one after another, transforming into streams of black bloodlight that surged into the colossal demon battling Qingji. Roar! The influx of this horrific power caused the nearly 10,000-foot-tall demon to swell further. Its flesh split open, exposing gory cracks, unable to fully withstand the overwhelming energy. Boom! The demon let out a blood-curdling howl, its fist piercing through space to slam into Qingji, obliterating his scales and sending him flying. Blood poured from his wounds as his battered form tumbled through the air. The fusion of countless alien demons had pushed the giant demon's strength to the brink of a peak-level 3-fold reincarnation tribulation expert. Yet this was its limit. Any further fusion risked the demon self-destructing. These alien demons were burning their lives to buy time, fully aware they would not survive the battle. Roar! Seeing the situation, Qingji's eyes brimmed with murderous intent. With a deafening roar, azure light engulfed the battlefield as tens of thousands of dragon patterns transformed into a colossal azure dragon, charging headlong at the crazed demon. He could not retreat. If this demon broke through, the allied army would suffer catastrophic losses. Arg! The demon bellowed in rage as it prepared to meet Qingji's assault. Black blood gathered around its massive claws and fangs, condensing into a dark beam that shot out like lightning, striking Qingji. Boom! Scales shattered as Qingji's massive form plummeted under the horrified gaze of the allied army. A gaping bloody hole marred his shoulder. Die! The demon's frenzied voice, filled with malice and bloodlust, rang out as it lunged forward, its massive claws aiming to crush Qingji completely. Despite the allied army's top warriors unleashing torrents of primordial energy to stop it, the demon pressed on, unfazed by their attacks, its massive frame trembling but unrelenting. Whoosh! As the demon's claw descended to deliver the fatal blow, the battlefield fell into silence. Qingji braced himself for the strike, but at that critical moment, a low, resonant sound echoed from the heavens. The demon's deadly claw suddenly froze mid-air. Countless gazes suddenly widened in shock and quickly turned toward the space above Qingji. There, a figure stood mid-air, seemingly extending his right hand to effortlessly block the enormous demon's claw. The disparity in size between the two was staggering, yet beneath his slender palm, the colossal demon could not advance an inch further. Tang Xinlian stared at the familiar, lean figure. First stunned, her delicate face soon lit up with joy. Lin Dong. Above the sky, beneath the massive demon claw, a figure floated mid-air. Though his body appeared frail, he effortlessly countered the terrifyingly powerful demon claw. Is that Elder Lin Dong? The allied army of the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance erupted with exclamations. Ever since the alliance was formed a year ago, Lin Dong had disappeared, reportedly entering seclusion to train. No one had expected him to appear at such a crucial moment. This guy finally showed up on time, Tang Xinlian muttered with a radiant smile. The entire world had become a battlefield, yet on the three main fronts, neither side's most powerful figures had taken action. The top elites of the demon region were pinned down by the 8 ancient lords in the Western Mystery region, rendering them unable to assist the outer battlefields. At a time like this, Lin Dong's arrival was bound to play a monumental role. Senior Qingji, are you all right? Lin Dong blocked the demon claw and turned his head to ask Qingji behind him. Qingji's body flickered with green light as he reverted to his human form. Wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, he offered Lin Dong a bitter smile. So, you're out of seclusion now? Lin Dong nodded with a smile. Leave this big guy to me. Qingji had no objections. Though Lin Dong seemed calm with no outward energy fluctuations, Qingji could sense an exceptionally dangerous aura emanating from him. Evidently, Lin Dong's strength had reached an unfathomable level after a year of training. This transformation left Qingji both emotional and gratified. Thinking back to when he first met Lin Dong, a young man fighting to stand out in a modest 100 Dynasties war, Qingji had seen potential in him and passed down the blue sky dragon transformation technique. Yet, who would have thought that years later, that youth would surpass even him? Be careful. This demon has fused with the power of more than 10 true kings. Though they likely won't live long, they're extremely volatile right now. Qingji warned before retreating to be protected by allied warriors. Fused alien demons, huh? Lin Dong wasn't surprised. It was reminiscent of the Yuan sect's 3 giants, though these creatures were far more brutal. However, their fusion must have reached its limit. Any further, and they might self-destruct. Roar! The demon retracted its claw and glared at Lin Dong with violent eyes. With a furious roar, black blood erupted like springs from its massive body. The writhing blood emitted waves of malevolent energy. Blood Demon Realm. A guttural roar escaped the demon's grotesque maw as the black blood rapidly spread outward. Like a giant sphere of light, it engulfed Lin Dong, then abruptly contracted. As it shrank, an indescribable, terrifying energy condensed at its core. Swoosh! In the blink of an eye, the blood sphere shrank to just a few meters in diameter, entirely concealing Lin Dong's figure. The demon's claw then clenched fiercely, intent on crushing the sphere and obliterating Lin Dong completely. SHHK. But just as the claw was about to close, a slender hand suddenly pierced through the blood sphere from within, tearing it apart as if it were mere paper. The sphere, containing horrifying energy, was forcibly ripped in two. Lin Dong smiled faintly, flipping his palm. The shattered sphere condensed into a fist-sized black orb that spun in his hand. Go! With a flick of his finger, the black orb shimmered with a trace of chaos before shooting out as a streak of black light. It streaked across the sky, striking the demon squarely in the chest. Sizzle! Though the black light seemed feeble, the orb pierced through the demon's body, armor that had previously withstood Qingji's full power. The orb burrowed deep into its form. Fool! You dare use our demonic energy against us? The demon roared with derisive laughter. The orb did not harm them. Instead, it amplified the demonic energy within their bodies. Lin Dong chuckled softly. In the instant Lin Dong's hand clenched, the boisterous laughter of the great evil demon king suddenly froze. His massive body began to tremble violently as beams of chaotic light burst forth from within him. Under the chaotic beams, the seemingly endless demonic energy within the great demon was swiftly reduced to nothingness at an astonishing speed. His body split apart, breaking into dozens of demonic shadows that shot out, spewing black blood. The great demon was forcibly expelled by Lin Dong, breaking apart the fused true demon kings. As those true kings were hurled out, their faces turned deathly pale, their eyes filled with terror. However, before they could take any action, Lin Dong's expressionless face and swift hands took action. Boom! A thunder dragon sliced through the sky, vivid and alive. Its massive form was crackling with lightning, far more lifelike and imposing than any of Lin Dong's previous creations. With a sharp whistle, the thunder dragon smashed downwards. As it passed through, true king-level alien demons erupted in despairing screams, exploding into nothingness, their demonic energy obliterated by the thunder's power. The true kings, terrified by Lin Dong's ferocity, quickly fled. Seeing this, Lin Dong waved his sleeve, and gigantic black holes spanning thousands of feet appeared behind those fleeing true kings. The swirling black holes, like giant mouths, devoured them whole. In just a few moments, Lin Dong had completely eradicated the 10 or so true king-level alien demon kings. This sight left countless individuals on the battlefield below in stunned silence. Having dealt with the true kings, Lin Dong gazed down at the battlefield with dark, indifferent eyes. It was his first time witnessing such a massive conflict. The battlefield spanned the entire Northern Sea region, where demonic energy clashed fiercely with primordial energy. The sheer number of alien demons was likely in the millions, and the Alliance's army was just as large. Yet, this army wasn't ordinary. Each soldier possessed formidable strength. With a thought, Lin Dong summoned countless thunderclouds that thundered and roared, drowning out even the overwhelming battle cries. This world is not where you belong. Standing upon the void, Lin Dong gazed coldly at the endless sea of alien demons, his eyes glinting with icy finality. So be cleansed, perhaps then your souls might return to their rightful place. Boom! The earth shook as the massive thunderclouds expanded. Innumerable bolts of terrifying lightning descended, sweeping across the battlefield and vaporizing alien demons without even a chance to scream. Faced with such a fearsome assault, the ferocious momentum of the alien demon army faltered. Fear flickered in their eyes, for without their true kings, they no longer held their previous might. Kill! Tang Xilian's cold gaze flashed as she caught the moment the alien demon army's morale weakened. Her icy command sparked a devastating surge of killing intent from the Alliance army. An overwhelming tide of primordial energy crashed forth, scattering the alien demon forces. However, the alien demons were indeed ferocious. Even in such dire straits, they stubbornly resisted, inflicting losses on the Alliance army. Blood stained the sea surface crimson. Yet, in the face of overwhelming odds, their desperate resistance slowly waned. Roar! Sensing their inevitable defeat, the alien demon army erupted into howls and rushed toward the sea in a bid to escape underwater. These alien demons were resilient. If they managed to escape, they would pose a future threat. But as they retreated, a cold smile crossed Tang Xilian's face. Her crisp command echoed, "Sea Demon Army, leave none alive. Boom. Waves surged below as if parting, and an army of sea demons riding varied sea beasts surged forth, revealing a massive light array forming under the sea, sealing off any escape routes. Above, Lin Dong watched the alien demon army, now trapped on all sides, and slowly relaxed his hand. He gave Tang Xinlian, in the distance, a thumbs up. Amid the surging tide of soldiers, Tang Xinlian noticed Lin Dong's decisive actions. A proud curve lifted her rosy, alluring lips as her phoenix-like eyes boldly locked onto him, unflinching. The soft and enchanting gaze in her eyes forced Lin Dong to avert his own, unable to endure the intensity. Only then did she break into a peal of laughter, her delicate figure trembling with joy. Lin Dong exhaled lightly. Once the remaining cleanup was complete, the chaos in the Chaos Demon Sea would finally come to an end. Afterward, as long as the Demon Realm Alliance and the Western Mystery Region were pacified, the stage would be set for the final confrontation with the Demon Prison. They must be targeting the higher-ups of the Demon Prison, Lin Dong murmured, his gaze fixed toward the direction of the 4 great mystery regions. Meanwhile, far away, atop a mountain at the border between the Eastern Mystery Region and the Western Mystery Region, a slender figure cloaked in icy blue sat in meditation. She slowly opened her bright, captivating eyes, gazing toward the direction of the Chaos Demon Sea as if sensing something. Her gloved hands tightened slightly. He has emerged? The war in the Chaos Demon Sea ended with an ultimate victory for the Alliance army. While Lin Dong's participation was crucial, the greater reason was that the Demon Prison Army had received no reinforcements. Facing the united forces of the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance in such a condition, their chances of success were slim. Even so, the Alliance spent 5 entire days after the war to ensure every last alien demon in the Chaos Demon Sea was eliminated. Only then was the region truly cleansed. The aftermath of the war revealed the devastation wrought by the Demon Prison Army. The seas once occupied by them were a horrific sight. Demonic energy had seeped into the waters, wreaking havoc on marine life. Corpses floated everywhere, filling vast stretches of ocean, the stench of death pervading the air. The sight of such carnage left the Alliance soldiers with bloodshot eyes. The alien demons were indeed far too brutal and savage. If not completely eradicated, peace in this world would never be restored. However, purifying the demonically tainted seas was a task that couldn't be prioritized. Once the war in the Chaos Demon Sea ended, Tang Xinlian split the Alliance army in 2. One force went to support the 4 Great Mystery Regions Alliance, and the other to assist the Demon Realm Alliance. Clearing out the alien demons from all 3 regions swiftly was essential to ensuring they could face the demon prison without distraction. After some deliberation, Lin Dong led half of the Alliance army to the 4 Great Mystery Regions. Being closer to the Western Mystery Region, it was best to get there as quickly as possible to prevent unforeseen issues, even though Huan and the others were keeping a close watch on the demon prison. As for the Demon Realm, Tang Xinlian led the other half of the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance army. With her commanding the forces, Lin Dong believed they would reverse the situation and bring order to the Demon Realm. Tang Xinlian fully supported Lin Dong's plan. Thus, after stabilizing the situation in the Chaos Demon Sea, the two split their forces and headed in separate directions, each with their armies blanketing the skies. Eastern Mystery Region, Sunset Plains. This area marked the border between the Eastern Mystery Region and the Southern Mystery Region and served as the base for the 4 Great Mystery Regions Alliance Army. 100 miles across the plains lay the demon prison forces ravaging the 4 Great Mystery Regions. On the plains, the Alliance Army was in the midst of training. Shouts and commands echoed incessantly. At the forefront of the massive army, a high platform stood, where several figures overlooked the scene. At the forefront stood a slender silhouette dressed in a black dress, her figure delicate and graceful. Yet, her exquisitely beautiful face was filled with a stern and murderous aura. Her deep, night-like eyes swept across the vast plains below. This striking figure was none other than Qing Tan. Not only was she the leader of the Dark Hall, but she was also the head of the 4 Great Mystery Regions Alliance. Despite her young age, a year of relentless, bloody battles against the demon prison had established her as a proven leader. Every gaze on her from the plains below radiated respect. Behind Qing Tan stood Ling Qingzhu, still adorned in her usual white gown. Her aura was cold and ethereal, her flawless, breathtaking face exuding an even greater sense of spirituality than before. A faint, mysterious air surrounded her, inspiring awe in all who looked at her. Ling Qingzhu's gaze shifted toward the distant horizon. Her expression subtly changed as she sensed a strong spatial fluctuation. Moments later, a massive host of figures surged forth like a swarm of locusts, their overwhelming aura shaking the heavens and earth. Woo! With the sudden change, an alarm erupted within the Four Great Mystery Regions Alliance. There's no need to panic. Those are allies from the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance. Ling Qingzhu's clear voice rang out, instantly easing the tense atmosphere that had gripped the plains. Is it the joint army from the Chaos Demon Sea? Have they already dealt with the alien demons within the sea? That's impressive. With these brothers arriving, we don't have to fear the alien demons anymore. This time, we'll definitely be able to wipe them out. Yeah. As the tension dissipated, a thunderous cheer erupted from the allied forces of the Four Great Mystery Regions. Countless people waved their arms excitedly at the army approaching like a swarm of locusts in the distance. Is that Brother Lin Dong? Although Qing Tan's expression softened slightly at the arrival of the alliance, still maintaining the dignified aura of the Four Great Mystery Regions Alliance leader, her cold expression vanished when she saw the figure in the front of the army. Her face immediately transformed with surprise, and the higher-ups of the alliance were left stunned as they saw her reaction. When they heard the name Lin Dong, they all looked slightly enlightened. Ling Qingzhu also nodded gently, her gaze turning in the direction of the approaching army. Although her exquisite face remained cold and serene, the softness and warmth in her eyes were unmistakable. This subtle change made some onlookers sigh inwardly, realizing just how many talented individuals within the Four Great Mystery Regions must have fallen for these two women. But now, it seemed they had no hope left, caught in competition with such monstrous rivals. The allied forces in the distance rapidly approached and landed on the vast plain. Lin Dong's figure moved and appeared directly on the high platform. Brother Lin Dong. Qing Tan's voice rang out with surprise. Her slender figure darted forward like a swallow in flight. Lin Dong quickly reached out and caught her, pulling her into his arms, his hand around her tiny waist. He gently patted her head with affection, smiling. You're the leader of the Four Great Mystery Regions now, yet you still act like you're growing up. Qing Tan grinned, her playful and innocent demeanor completely contrasting with her usual cold and ruthless look in the alliance. She appeared like a naive girl untouched by the world. However, only those strong individuals in the alliance who had experienced her methods firsthand knew just how terrifying the power lay beneath her seemingly innocent exterior. After a brief moment of playfulness, Lin Dong looked toward Ling Qingzhu and gave her a warm smile. Upon seeing his smile, the normally cold and aloof expression on her face softened slightly, and she turned her head away. How's the situation here? Lin Dong asked. We've been at a stalemate with the demon prison army, Qing Tan replied somewhat helplessly. But you know, Brother Lin Dong, out of the three great alliances, our Four Great Mystery Regions is probably the weakest, so we haven't been able to gain much of an advantage. Lin Dong wasn't surprised by this. Within the Four Great Mystery Regions, the Western Mystery Region had already fallen entirely under the control of the demon prison. Compared to the Chaos Demon Sea and Demon Realm alliances, their strength was somewhat lacking. That they had managed to hold their ground for so long was already impressive. Don't worry. This time, I've brought half of the Chaos Demon Sea Alliance's strength. That should be more than enough to wipe out this demon prison army, Lin Dong smiled. Qing Tan nodded. With the addition of these fresh reinforcements, the situation was bound to turn in their favor. Lin Dong walked closer to Ling Qingzhu, and as he looked at her, he froze for a moment, clearly noticing something strange about her. What surprised him the most was that he couldn't sense what level she was currently at. You don't need to try sensing, Ling Qingzhu smiled faintly. I've dispersed my primordial energy. Dispersed it? Lin Dong was taken aback, his voice filled with shock. How could you disperse your primordial energy? Then what are you at now? He trailed off, still trying to process this information. Although he couldn't sense any fluctuations of primordial energy from Ling Qingzhu, there was an inexplicable, familiar feeling. Ling Qingzhu extended her jade-like hand, and a faint chaotic light began to gather around her palm, radiating a mysterious and powerful energy. This is the power of the Supreme Deity? Lin Dong exclaimed in astonishment. This was a force that could only be sensed through the perception of the Supreme. Yes, Ling Qingzhu nodded slightly. I've chosen a different path. Instead of cultivating primordial energy, I focused on understanding the Supreme and have refined that power within me. She paused and added, I'm not sure exactly what level I am at now, but it feels much stronger than before. Even Lin Dong, with his steady composure, couldn't help but gasp in awe. What did she mean by choosing a different path? He understood that the path Ling Qingzhu spoke of likely referred to absorbing the power of the Supreme Deity. Yet, how many people in this world could even sense the Supreme Deity, let alone integrate such power into their bodies? This was something Lin Dong himself could not accomplish at the moment. Moreover, Ling Qingzhu was being incredibly bold. Decades of painstakingly cultivated primordial energy, discarded just like that? She was even more decisive than when he had destroyed his own Naiwan palace. Without other powers, one can maintain a pure heart for sensing. This seems rather nice, Ling Qingzhu said softly. Her stunningly beautiful face carried a sense of ethereal detachment at this moment. Her naturally cool demeanor, combined with this otherworldly quality, gave her the air of a celestial maiden gracing the mortal realm. Lin Dong scratched his nose. He had thought himself rather extreme already, but compared to Ling Qingzhu, she was on another level entirely. Such an idea had never even occurred to him. Clearly, when it came to sensing the Supreme Deity, Ling Qingzhu possessed a talent he couldn't hope to match. Leave these Chaos Demon Sea Alliance forces to Qing Tan and me. We'll deal with this demon prison army. For now, I suggest you go check on her, Ling Qingzhu said as she gently brushed a strand of hair behind her ear. Her clear eyes met Lin Dong's gaze. Her? Lin Dong was momentarily stunned before realization struck him like lightning. You mean Huan Huan? What happened to her? You should go see for yourself. You'll be able to sense where they are, Ling Qingzhu said with a slight shake of her head. Seeing her expression, an unsettling feeling rose in Lin Dong's heart. Without saying more, he nodded, his body flashing with silver light as he disappeared on the spot.